Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel Ghostbakes SuperCoach, and we are here with our round 6 review. And what a fucking doozy it was. As you can see, fuck, just an absolute horrendous dog shit of a round. So we're gonna have a bit of fun, just having a laugh at ourselves today. And yeah, just you can see there 2094. Just fuck, it's so bad. So yeah, if you're paranoid about how bad your score is, we're gonna make you feel better today because I haven't seen anybody score as low as me this week. So yeah, shout out to if you had a great week. Like I said, we're not here to shit on anybody that had a decent week and be sour and miserable about it. We're just gonna take it that it's our week to have a shit week, and we'll bounce back. And yeah, usually once you have a crap week, you end up having a decent one the week after, or at least coming up. But we've been middle of the pack pretty much between that like 40 to 30k rank pretty much all season. So the last couple of weeks we've had a few green arrows, and yeah, then this week we've just gone all the way back to 41k. So dropped 10k this week. Round rank 78k is just fucking so bad. But yeah, seen some decent scores. A lot of people 2200, 2300. So like I said, shout out to you guys. I hope you all had a good week. I hope all your trades worked out well, and you got some decent players in and scores. So like I said, we're just gonna take it in our stride. It's our turn to have a shit week. Anyone that's done this for a while, like this is my first proper year doing all the content creating and loving it. I'm still gonna front up when we do shit because it's just part of it. Had a really good year last year, but one thing I learned is even when you have a good year, a lot of it is based on luck. You can do all the research you want. You can, look at the break evens and the rolls and the runs and pick players based on certain things. And, there's gut feel, and then there's other things that we look at. And at the end of the day, whatever's going to happen is going to happen. This year's been absolute fucking curveball after curveball with injuries and form. And honestly, I think there's probably two or three blokes that have gotten hundreds every single week. So if you're one of those people that's like, oh, I knew this was going to happen, well, congratulations. And you're obviously going to win SuperCoach, because if you know everything, then you should win. So it just annoys me when I hear that, because no one knows any of this shit's going to happen. Like, yeah, cool, you can get some things right and we get some things wrong. That's just part of it. But yeah, look, we're just going to have some fun with it. We're going to have a laugh, go through our team, have a look at what we want to sort of do from this point on. Just really want to get the blokes in the team that I want to have in my team. And that's the beauty of being in a shit spot sometimes, is you just get that freedom to do what you want. You're not so, I've got to be careful and I've got to think about everything. So yeah, I think I'm just going to let loose and have a look at what I want to do and not focus so much, because at least if I get it wrong, I'm going to get it wrong my way and not follow the pack or do things and then get it wrong anyway, and then I'm double pissed off because I didn't listen to myself. But yeah, unfortunately not a great week, but let's go have a look at the shit team and have a bit of a laugh, but also go through all of what happened so you can understand just how bad shit can go wrong. And this week, I hope not, but it might be you. It was our week this week. So start off, and I'll be upfront right now. After Friday night, the Friday doubleheader, or as I called it, the double fuck me Friday, yeah, I just stopped watching footy pretty much. I think I saw a couple quarters or a half here and there from a few games. I think I saw the start of Hawthorn Port. Wasn't really paying much attention. And then I saw a little bit of West Coast Freo and a bit of North and Richmond on Sunday. I was busy. I did have other things on, but yeah, the mood to watch to watch more footy just evaporated after knowing how bad I was going. And yeah, you'll see as I go through the matchups. But started with Jackie Sinclair, 119, bounces back from his sub-ton of 82, I think he got last week. So saw none of this game at all, so not really sure what happened in terms of that. I did hear that he had some CBAs, sort of spiked up a little bit. Sammy Flanders went to like that halfback sort of role. Obviously, Naz was getting a bit of attention, so he was probably floating around from mid to defence and forward and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, it looks like those three blokes might get thrown around a little bit. Ross was obviously trying to win the match, so the magnets go everywhere when Ross is trying to do that. So I wouldn't read too much into it if Sinclair's getting more mid-time. Obviously, we want him at halfback being that leader and taking the kick-ins and just controlling the back line completely. That's what we want him for. But if he's going to split it with anyone, Sammy Flanders isn't too bad of an option because he hasn't really looked like a top six forward, but we'll get to his score later down the track, and you'll see that it was definitely a better score. So maybe the half back role might not be too bad, but hopefully it doesn't take much from Sinclair because we don't want to lose him. He's been pretty clear D1 from the start. So yeah. Here we go. We start jumping into our Friday bullshit. Lockie Ash. Every week, I've had him for a couple of weeks, got over 100 the first week, and then 85 this week. 30 posies every week. He always gets like 30 disposals, gets shitloads of the ball, lots of run and carry. He wants the ball. He is hungry for it. And I looked, and he's got the same amount of disposals or more than Whitfield, and Whitfield gets a 115. Ash gets an 85. So wasn't really watching this game too closely. I started watching the Dogs and Geelong because they started first. So looked at that and then sort of swapped back and forth. And we started getting wet and looked shit. So I was like, oh, Ash isn't going to have a great score. But saw all the disposals, and obviously it was the efficiency that was the issue. So lackluster 85. It hurts when other people had Whitfield instead because that's a 30-point. We're starting 30 points behind, but yeah, still love Ash as a pick. I still think he'll be at the top tier, but yeah, just not the best of weeks, and not what we wanted from him. Geordie Clark tried to single-handedly save my round, so you can imagine how bad my score was looking before yesterday's fucking game. Like, this is before a 146 from him, so but yeah, you can see there's a big trend of other than my rookies, all my players primos have dropped so much cash. But we started with Geordie Clark, so yeah, this was one of his up games. He's sort of averaging that 105, which is roughly what he was last year. We wanted to get him up to like a 110 plus, but yeah, he'll get like a 50 and then a 150 and then 100, then a 40, a 60, then a 140, and it just been usually like really consistent. He's just been up and down, but won the medal yesterday against the Eagles, 146. He was strong from the start. He was on like 80 at halftime, and I was like, oh, he'll do that thing where he drops and only gets like a 115 for the second half, but he kept going. And the scaling was obviously really good because he was so good early and, yeah, helped him get over the line. So very happy with Geordie Clark. He's one of very few that we are happy with. The steaming bag of shit that is Dan Houston, it annoys me to say that 87 is actually one of our better scores because we definitely have much worse. But, yeah, look, he's not a primo. I said this last week. Held him just to see what he could do in a game at the G. And I was like, look, thanks to my boy Scobes, I asked how much he needed to score. If he dropped to 50, how much would he drop in price? It was going to be about 20k, and I was like, all right, like we'll just wear that 20k. If he drops to 50, we'll take the risk. And three-quarter time, halftime was on 30. I was like, here we go. He's going to be fucking barely get to a 50 again. Piece of shit. Got to 50 at 3/4 time. I was like, just get like a 70 would be fine. And then, he just got that cheap ball in the back when Collingwood got back in front and then started trying to just ice the game. Came back and checked and he was on like 90 and I was like, what the hell? How did he get up that high? And then, a little bit of scaling dropped him down to 87. So we'll take that. Odds of him staying in my team this week are next to none. Just as a little teaser for what we might do, I'm definitely looking to boost this week and I think he'll be going up to probably Lockie Whitfield. So, yeah, I can't stand him in my team. I know he's got a good matchup with Essendon, but if it wasn't for that last quarter, he would have done another dog shit quarter, like another dog shit game. And 87's not like what we wanted from him. We wanted hundreds pluses, and he's done that once out of 3 or 4 weeks for me. So, nah, this is probably it. Jacob Farrow, obviously a bit of a tougher matchup with Gold Coast up there, but still managed to get a 61. Not the greatest of scores, but it's not the worst. He still jumped up in cash a lot. Still got a decent break even, I'm pretty sure. And he's just an elite ball user, so I think he's pretty safe to field. I think he's still coming into his own, but this week against the Pies on Anzac Day, I think he can have a decent score. I don't see the Pies, putting a lot of pressure on. They tend to get all their players back and defend a bit. So might be that chip mark game might be really, really good this week. So, and if you're an Archie Roberts owner, it's probably prime for that. So keep an eye out. And here's where we start going really shit. Lockie Jakes. I went against my gut. My gut said Lockie Jakes at GMHBA, kickers and halfbackers are shit there, unless you're a Geelong player usually. And I just don't know why I didn't do it. Just decided to field him, and it was a mistake. And especially after the Dogs started getting just pummeled, realised that. And I knew that once that had happened, I knew that Lindsay was going to go off. So Lindsay was the emergency, 75. Kicked a goal as well, so well done to him. Cash in still looking good for him. Can make some more coin for sure, but pretty sure this week he'll be going on field. Jakes has Sydney. Sydney looking very tough to play against. I think Lindsay's got the Saints, so they don't mind giving up a bit of points to the back line and the kickers. So I think Lindsay will be good there. Our one trade, which I'll get into why we only did one trade this week, and if I had have known the carnage that was to come, I probably wouldn't have even done that trade. But we got in Flynn Perez just for a bit more cash gen, 99k. He was named, so we just got an extra 50k off 1 week. Was looking really, really good. Started really good early with some rundown tackles and took some intercept marks. Didn't get a lot of game time in the last quarter when the game was on the line, unfortunately, so couldn't really add much to his score. I think he was on 47, I think, at 3/4 time, so only managed 8 points. But look, got him for cash gen. Hopefully holds his spot. I don't think that they'll drop him just for the sake of it. I think he did enough, but I can be wrong. So we'll see how we go. Hopefully he stays in the team. Otherwise, at least I'll have a loop back there for now, and can loop between Lindsay and Jakes, or if possible. I haven't looked at the matchups yet. Zachy Butters, pissed off Zach Butters from fresh off his guilty verdict for saying something he apparently didn't say. Whatever. 154, massive last quarter when the game was on the line. He's just that game breaker. Almost, if it's not him, there's no one else there, especially with Rosie out. So still is acting captain, but he's always playing like a captain. He's solid. So 154, big captain score. He's backed it up from last week, but we didn't do the C on him, unfortunately, but it wasn't too bad in the end. So we'll take a 154. His average is now climbing up to that 130, which is what we want. Back to the shit that was Friday. Bont tagged by Oisin Mullen. Just couldn't get near it. Was trying to do a 2-on-1 to free up Richards. And just, I would have rathered him just back himself and just looked at Mullen going, mate, you're not in my league. I'm going to fucking I'm just going to go get the ball. And the Dogs just got pummeled. I really think without English, they're in deep shit. They just can't do much in the midfield. The injury carnage they copped was insane. Even Bont had a little bit of a scare, and once he hurt his knee, I thought, I'm gonna quit. I'm gonna quit because if he's injured, I'm done. If you're a non-Bond owner, don't be a flog about it. And this is why you don't pay. Like, okay, we paid up for who you want. No, you shouldn't critique people that want to pay up for players. If they want to pay up, yeah, you can say you're right. No one would have thought that Bont would get an 84 and a 66. I got Bont in because it was a correction from 2 mid prices that were dog shit. So I got him in because I just wanted the security of having him in. Has it worked? I got a couple really good scores and I've had a couple crap scores. But like I said, pretty much everyone's had a crap score. So well done that you're going to get Bont cheaper. That's fine. But you've also got a lot of other options as well. I'm seeing a lot of people going, I'm getting Bont in, I'm getting Callahan in, I'm getting Rowell in, I'm getting Clug in. And it's like, well, you can't get them all in 1 week. So, but Bont will come down. So good on you if you waited it out and you're happy to pay less. I'm just saying people don't need to be flogs about laughing at people that paid up or whatever. It's just, okay, like they chose to have the security of having a player. It's fine. And I didn't start Bont. There were plenty of people that started Bont. They got much more out of him than I did. So just thought I'd throw that out there because, yeah, you shouldn't be... I don't do it either. Like, obviously we want players to come down in price. But, yeah. And this was a game, honestly, 66, like, he looked probably worse than that, to be honest. I thought he'd be lucky to get to 66. So, yeah, 2 bad games from Bont. You don't usually see it. I think it's the first time in a long, long time. So, yeah, but if you're getting him cheap, enjoy. Solid player, and hopefully he'll turn it around. We know he will. The tags this year are just insane. They're starting to come back into vogue, which we'll get into that in a minute as well. Nicky Dakes, he was our VC on a Thursday night. Obviously, started off pretty decent and started tapering off, and then he just exploded in that last quarter, went nuts. Nearly doubled his score. Like, kicked the goal, set multiple up. Just was that the Nick Dacos that dragged him over the line. Averaging 125 now, 140. We did manage to hold on to the VC, which we'll get into because that was something that we required a bit of maneuvering, but we got the 140 VC. So once again, imagine how shit we'd be if we didn't get a hold of that. So, yeah, look, then the next one, Callahan, also on Friday night, tagged to fuck James Jordan. Didn't think that... Wasn't 100% sure who James Jordan would go to, and I was like, if he goes to Callahan, I actually back Callahan to break the tag better than like an Ash or a Whitfield. I was hoping he'd go to Whitfield, and he obviously didn't, went to Callahan. The conditions didn't help. He still had like a shit ton of the ball and kicked a goal, but the disposal efficiency and just, Jordan just stayed with him, and same thing, 65, so not what we wanted. He got a 130 something last week, and we know that what he can do, but he definitely suits the dry conditions better. It's just bad luck. Happened to get tagged the same week Bond got tagged, and both are top 8 mids that we happen to have, whereas some teams I've seen, especially that scored a bit higher in their 2200s, only had maybe one of them, not both. So yeah, it's just one of those things. But we wear it. I'm happy with the pick, and I'm sure he'll bounce back. Caleb Sarong, this is another fucking frustrating pick because he's up, down, up, down. Don't know what you're going to get from him. He's just... I don't know. He's such a frustrating own, to be honest. Like, even when he scores well, like those first games, like he's been in trouble in those games. Like, he's never looked just solid from start to finish. And then, like, I missed a bit of the game. I turned it on. He kicked the last goal, and I was like, oh, sweet. He has to get over 100. And I looked at it and he got 97. I was like, it's not even fucking tunning up against West Coast. Like, we got him for value and the fact he didn't have a bye. And 106 average. Like, it's not bad, but fuck, like I said, it's just another one of these blokes that just hasn't done it. The picks were definitely Baz, Heaney, Holmes. Like, these guys have been solid. LDU was a massive one that's just killed it from start, and he's one of the few blokes that just keeps tonning up now. So, see, he's starting to do it in a harder run too. Obviously, Richmond this week wasn't very hard, but did it against Brisbane. Yeah, we'll see what happens next. But yeah, fuck, we just started with the wrong picks. So wrong. Look, yeah, got it so wrong. Just thought he'd have a decent time getting the ball. He's that more mature body, and he's been doing really well the last few weeks. 48 in a winning Swans team, just yeah, not great. Just obviously it's a bit hard. He's doing the wing defense sort of role, and yeah, it's just not what we wanted. Thought he'd do a bit better than that. So and he was one because we got Perez in. We had to fling someone into the midfield. Jagger was our loop, so at 64. So we thought that there would be a few players that would score better than him. Jack Carroll was never in fucking contention for that, but yeah, in hindsight, should have went with Grill, but just saw that Grill was sort of getting between those, 60, 80 sort of range. Sarong had that massive spike and just seemed to be a little bit more consistent with a mature body, so that's why I picked him, but yeah, fucking sputtered it up. Blamires just got to a 61. He was on like 10 at halftime, looked absolute shit. And I was just like, really? Like, they're smashing Richmond and this guy can't even get a touch. Like, this is going to get even worse. And somehow he scrounged his way up to 60. I think he's getting at least a 60 every week. So, once again, that more mature body, that's why we chucked him on and a good matchup. So, he just needs to keep doing that and hopefully keep the cash coming. We welcome this bloke back, Milan Murdoch. When I say I love watching a few young kids play, this guy just fucking loves football. He loves being out there. You can tell he is grateful for the opportunity he has. He loves a tackle, and he was on Sarong and he was chasing players down and repeat efforts and just yeah, he's just solid as an 85. I think he kicked 2 behinds. I think too. I could be wrong on that. I remember seeing someone kick 2 behinds, but he's just solid and he just works his ass off. He's definitely an on-field option every week, like averaging 95 at the moment off 3 games. This was coming off a hammy. Yeah, be interesting to see how he goes against the Saints this week. But yeah, he's got a lot of cash to make and he's just solid. So I love watching him play. Sammy Grill, hopefully he's all good. He came off in the last quarter. Not sure if it was just a bit of fatigue and he was a little bit sore because Richmond had some injuries, but another solid score, pretty much hit his average. Just he's another young kid that loves taking it on. He's got a lot of skill. Took a few kick-outs, went to the center a few times. Like they're just experimenting with him, and yeah, he's a solid pick. His break even's getting up there now. That he's near that 300k mark, but yeah, we'll see if he's all good this week to play, and yeah, we'll go from there. But Eagles is, I think, not this week, but next. So he might be good to hold on to for a couple of weeks and hopefully get another spike score out of him. But yeah, Ben's super happy with Grill. We touched on Jagger. He was our loop. But yeah, that role's just, he's not getting the mid-time anymore. He's still scrounged out at 64, playing off half forward and pretty shitty tog. So he's one that might need to go just because the role's just gone and he's not getting the CBAs like he used to. So Michael Voss being a flog. Not letting him play where he should be playing, in my opinion. Jack Carroll back to being a bag of shit again. He had a spike score and straight back to a 30. He's not an on-field option at all. We just left him there to make some cash. He's made close to 100k. Not sure what the break even is now, but fucking yeah, who knows if he's even going to hit it unless it's like 20. So yeah, just he's not an on-field option. He's just there to make cash, but he might get dropped soon because 32 is not going to cut it. Oh, these games, Max gone. So we had a choice basically. Obviously, ZZ got named as a late in with Darcy Fort going out with illness. We got a little bit lucky. We had a choice to make, and it was either keep the trade of Dev Rob to Zach Bailey and throw the captaincy on Gawn, or the other option was to reverse the trade, so I'm not spending the trade, and we get Dacos' captaincy score by using Dev Rob as a loop. This also got our bench option Oscar Steen 72, which I thought was decent score anyway. So we just decided to play it safe. I said I'm not risking Gawn with double ruck with Max Heath in the team because I just didn't know. And then I was like, I'm like, you watch, you'll probably score a 140 and Bailey will get like a 120 and I'll fucking lose more points. But I just wanted something that I knew was going to happen rather than take that risk, and just stuck with what I could see with the scores were going to be. And thank fuck I did that. Could you imagine how bad it would be if I went Gawn captain? I would have lost another 35 points. And then also, instead of Steen, I would have had Bailey's 52. So I would have lost another, like, we'll have been 50 points worse off. It's so bad. So yeah, Gawn at 105 isn't even that great anyway. Like, he turned up, but yeah, Max, like, why are we double rucking with Gawn? Just let him do his thing. He could have taken on Draper and ZZ on his own. Like, I don't think he got much out of that, but yeah. ZZ was on like 30 at halftime or 25 at halftime, got fucking no more points. Fuck all Tog, just literally brought in to just ruin SuperCoach for me. So thanks for your 29, mate. At least you got up some cash, went up like 30-something K. Break even's like right on zero, so he won't play next week if Fort's all right anyway. He'll be back to being dropped. So we missed McAndrew's 79 because of that, so that cost us a lot of points. Another more bad luck is what it is. Not much we can do. McAndrew's solid, just gets his, between his 75 and 90s. He had that massive spike score a couple of weeks ago, but yeah, it looks just keeping him in for now until we can get a ruck. But yeah, right now I think he's fine. I will probably hold him all the way to the buys, I'd imagine. Sheasel doing Sheasel things. He would have been our captain backup if Dacos failed, but obviously we had him locked in, and then North played, and then we had the ZZ issue. So 141, didn't get his 53 or 54 touches like he did last time against the Tigers, but solid as fuck. He's F1. We say that every week, but he just keeps proving it. So good on the Shees. Flanders, like I said, off that half back roll a little bit. 117, pretty much his best score for the year, I'm pretty sure, or close to. Bringing that average up to 93. Hopefully he can keep going. Be good if he can do it out of the midfield, and actually it just seems to be like maybe he hits more targets off the half back. So it'll be interesting to see how that balance goes between him and Sinclair. But got the Eagles this week, so it should be a good matchup, and hopefully he can back it up. Cook, sort of obviously, I think I heard he played a bit more off the half back in defence rather than the wing, but we knew that St Kilda give a lot of points away to wingers. So unlucky not to turn up. Would have been great just to see that 100 next to his name, but kicked a goal, had a shit ton of the ball. He's been a great pick. Lucky we jumped on him just before the price rise, so he's gone up about 140-something K now. Good break even. He's still going to make more money. A little bit of concern, I think, about it. Maybe he came off, he had a bit of ice on him after the game, but players have ice on them all the time after games, so hopefully it's nothing serious, and just, precaution to get ready for next week, but because we need him. Last thing we need is another fucking forward out. Captain Dev Rob had to reverse that trade, like I said, so we only used one trade this week, which was Noah Anderson out to Perez. I would have kept Anderson had I known all this shit would have happened, but either way, it doesn't matter now. So yeah, we might keep Dev Rob as a loop option just for now. We'll wait and see how teams are named and everything like that first, but he could come in handy. West Coast have a lot of later games usually too. But yeah, so he saved us a bit. Yeah, so that was lucky. Philippou just doesn't get the fucking tog. 60%, 58%, whatever the fuck it is. Like, he's a decent player. Just play him. Like, I don't understand why he's togged so low. I assumed it was going to build up because of his injury prone and he's coming off injuries and the corky and all this stuff. And it just hasn't. Yeah, just a trash score of 40 is not going to do it. Having him on the field as well didn't fucking help. Not that Lombard was any better. But, like I said, we could add a Zach Bailey there, which only got 12 more points and cost an extra 300k. So, yeah, in regards to that, it's not that bad. They got the Eagles this week. Hopefully he can get some tog or at least put a decent score on while he's got that easy matchup. So we'll keep him for now, most likely. Toddy Marshall back in defence. Really, really good at halftime. Sort of slowed down. Didn't get a lot of it in the second half, but had a lot of good intercepts early and just bit off these kicks down the corridor, and they were just perfect and actually set a lot up for Port. So you got that early scaling going. It seems to like it, when he's playing defence, he'll average at least 70, which is solid as for now. So he's still got money to make. He's got that DPP as well if we need, so we'll keep him. But yeah, it seems like a pretty decent fieldable option, which is good. Lombard, 45. Thought he might have been able to do a bit more against the Bombers. Just under 200k. It'd be interesting. Can you actually get over 200k, Lombard, please? They got the Hawks this week. Don't see him doing anything against them. I just can't see it. Oscar Steen was our emergency on Thursday, and we were worried we weren't going to use him. And yeah, we were going to trade Dev Rob out, so we were going to lose that score, but we got it back in. Re-kickstarted his cash gen. Like, he's not going to be a great pick every week, but as long as he can get these 50s out, we don't want any of those 20s and 30s. I think you can see what he can do when he's in the middle and he can jump and get the ball. He kicked 2 goals. He's got to stay in the team. They can't drop him. It's just whether or not he gets the tog to actually, and while he's out there, if he can actually do something. Against Essendon this week, I think he could do a bit. So hopefully he can get us another like 70 odd. It would be great. And this was disappointing. Tanner Bruin, in an absolute ass kicking of the Dogs, just couldn't get the ball. Like, had 15 or 16 touches, sort of CBA, sort of wing, sort of half back. It was just like a role that like just got thrown around a lot and just couldn't get enough of the ball. And he's usually super hungry for it and everything like that. Just like I said, I just don't even think halfbacks just do well at GMHBA unless you're Max Holmes. So yeah, not the greatest of scores, but at least there you go. You can see how shit and a bit unlucky we got. It could have been worse. Like, that's the scary thing, is like getting ZZ's 29, Philippu's 40, 2 tag games out of Bont and Callahan, Sarong's 48, Jakes is 34. Like, it adds up. If we even just fixed Lindsay on field, maybe a Grill on field instead of Sarong, McAndrews 50, extra 50 points, like, it probably would have got us, maybe even at least 2150 plus, like getting closer to that 22. But yeah, so we'll have a very interesting trade video coming out later in the week. So we're probably going to boost. We've got a lot of players on the list. We've got Witt, we've got Track. We want to make sure we've got enough money for McCluggage next week. There's plenty of players that are been on our list that we're looking at getting. Been sneakily looking at Timmy Taranto, and now with that concussion, unfortunately, he's going to be back for the West Coast game, but his break-even's going to be huge because I would have loved to have got him super cheap for that matchup. But he's one on our list now that we can have a look at. We're going to try and get some value. We're not going to spend we're not getting a Baz or a Heaney at 660. So we spent up for the ones that we really, really wanted. Now we're going to be a bit smarter with it. Overall, I don't think the team's bad. It was just a shit week. Bont, Callahan, Sarong were very disappointing. Yeah, Sarong should have turned up for sure against the Eagles. So we will see how I think they got the Blues this week, so he's got to do something against them surely. But yeah, that's going to do us for our round review. So you see how fucking shit we were. I hope it made you feel better about your team, because if you were a bit down on what you got, Like, this is how bad it could have been. So just remember that. But we'll bounce back. So, but yeah, obviously give us a like and subscribe. If you're following us on Twitter, ghost_bakes, Ghost Bakes SuperCoach on YouTube, where you're watching this. And yeah, keep going. Follow us, because we never know where we're going to go. We might, we could shoot up again, or we can have another fucking shocking week and drop down even further. So, but yeah, until the next video, keep an eye out for our trade video. I'll post on X as well. We will probably be doing a live, jumping on SuperCoach Pro's channel on Wednesday night, so stay tuned for that as well. And we'll go through the teams and whatnot, and have a look at what we're doing, answer some questions. But yeah, that's pretty much it for tonight. So look, hope you see just how bad we were and take some joy out of it, because we're having a laugh at ourselves. So we're not going to take it too serious, but enjoy this week. We'll see what we can do with our trades, get your trades planned, and we'll have a solid week, all of us. So give us a like, subscribe, and we will see you in the next video, guys. See ya.